had brought Israelis and Palestinians together for events. But my general look towards the Palestinian issue was, unfortunately, you're being brainwashed. You're against me. I don't want to be against you. I will do everything not to be against you. But until you come to me and to the table to come together, I have nothing else to do for you. Like, that was my mentality.
Right.
Like, I'm not against you, and I will be there to fight for, but I'm not going to go out of my way to like correct you, because it's up to you to come to the table. I came halfway, you come halfway. After that experience, only years later did I realize that it made me understand how much of a responsibility I have not to go halfway, to go all the way for anyone and everything that sees a lack of truth, that hates or has, negative feelings. I have to go out of my way to correct. It's not about halfway. It's not about equal. You see further, you have a further responsibility to go out of your way. And that,
can you bridge the gap for me and the listeners? How did that experience translate to that? Do you know?
So because of that, I started getting involved with a lot of different movements on the ground that unites Israelis and Palestinians.
But no, I'm saying, how did the ayahuasca experience translate to you understanding that
For sure.
you have to go 100%?
So each experience is very different. I only had one real experience,
Right.
although I did it
100%.
twice. So I can't say compared to others, I've only had one. That experience allowed me to see how holistic truth works, allowed me to see that in my memories, what I know to be true, everything that I've experienced was something completely different than what I had originally thought when you have a different perspective included into it.
So you felt, having had this gift from ayahuasca, or from the ayahuasca experience, that you saw the way truth works, that there's infinite levels to it, that now when someone else is stuck and they're not seeing the truth, okay, I have a gift, I'm going to go out of my way to share it.
Yeah,
Is that
and understanding that, and it's not just Palestinians. Some Israelis were raised to hate Palestinians. Some Palestinians were raised to hate Israelis. And so it's not about just saying, the moment that you're ready, we're going to talk. It's about going out there and saying, I understand that you were taught or come to the conclusion or contextualize your reality by thinking that I'm the source of your problem. I know I'm not the source of your problem. I'm not just going to wait for you to see that. I'm going to be it so that you see that it's not that. And it's very similar to the experience I had, that activated me when I was younger. When I was 7 years old, I got kicked off of a bus with my mom and younger brother.
Yeah.
And I started asking myself, why did this neo-Nazi kick me and my mom and my brother off the bus? He doesn't know us. Why does he hate us so much? And all those things I started to realize, that person doesn't know me. So it's not a personal attack. It's because that contextualization of that person's fears or traumas or pain were taught to him that the reason you suffer is because of Jews. Now he's projecting his emotions and his conclusions onto me. And when I understand the bigger picture, the holistic picture of why he's even started that in the first place, then instead of dealing with the symptom, I can deal with the source. I can go as to where the source of this problem is. And that really, I guess it developed over time, over the years, but ayahuasca really gave me the ability to understand that on a much deeper level.
Do you feel, going back to earlier in our conversation, we were speaking about the "we are never close," and you seem to have some frustration.
We were never
people.
lost.
We were never. What did I say?
We are never close. We will be close.
Yeah, sorry. Freudian slip. I need to do more ayahuasca. In regards to the conversation earlier about we were never lost, there seemed to be some frustration towards people who don't see it the way you do in this regard. Do you feel like there's some room? And at the time I brought that up for you and said, maybe there's a different way of looking at it. Do you feel like there's some room to interject the lessons from the ayahuasca experience into that?
For sure. The frustration is not from people not knowing, because it's not their fault. The frustration I have is from people then hearing about it and rejecting it. And that hurts, because it's like, you have a brother and a sister that you've never heard of, and you should have that reaction that I had of like, let me meet them and let me make up for lost times and let me help them.
And you kind of want,
and I see my other brothers like not seeing my other, and it hurts,
you're frustrated that they're not meeting you halfway.
It's frustrating, but to be
you're going around the world to Africa,
to be able to see the whole truth, you have to include other lenses, other views, other perspectives. And that's the whole reason of this documentary. It's really a lens for the world to see. And by the way, in the documentary, we bring geneticists, the head geneticist of Columbia University. We bring rabbis, we bring archaeologists, we bring historians. Like, we're not just looking at this from one perspective. We're really bringing the whole perspective for that anyone seeing it can really understand on their own language and terms to be able to understand what we're trying to do here.